Hello, and welcome back to the Big Lab podcast. Bit of a different one today. I haven't really planned it at all. Purely off the top of my head, I would usually sit down and really plan out the podcast episodes, what I'm going to talk about, and get some notes. But I was in the office today, and I just thought I would come on here and basically speak my thoughts because I think it's a really important topic, and I'll get into it in the next couple of minutes. But I was in the office today, and coming out of work, going back to my car, I was just thinking, sort of, what am I doing? I'm 29 now, turned 30 in March, and obviously I speak a lot about life being too short, do the things that make you happy, and it's too short not to do the things that make you happy. And I'm starting to think whether I need to start taking my own advice a little bit, because don't get me wrong, I have a good job, I get paid very well for what I do, and I'm in a good position from that in my career and things like that. But I've put the work in over the last 11 years to get to where I am and work my way up the ladder, and that doesn't necessarily mean I enjoy it. I'm just good at it. And I think a lot of people, especially that end up in a corporate environment, end up on that same sort of ladder. You end up being good at something, you work your way up the ladder, and you get to a point and you're just like, why am I actually here? What am I doing? Do I enjoy what I'm doing? And yeah, it just got me thinking today, basically, because I think a lot of people, well, I've had a lot of messages over the years on Instagram and things like that saying, well, I'm from friends actually, saying that I seem to have it all together, all mapped out, and I'll be honest, I don't. I just sort of go with the flow and see where it takes me most of the time, to be quite honest. Try a lot of things out, fail things quite often, but you've got to have that mentality to be able to fail, to then keep pushing forward and try something new. Be willing to fail and accept that it's just part of life. Not everything's going to go to plan every time. But yeah, it's just, yeah, I don't have it all mapped out. I don't have it all planned out. I try, like most people, but you can only deal with what's in front of you, I guess, at the end of the day. But yeah, I think it's a very important one just from a social media perspective as well, because as we know, pretty much everyone just posts the best things that are going on in their lives on social media. So I thought I'd just come on here because of the comments I've had in the past saying that I seem to have it all together, and just be honest and open. I don't, and that's fine, because anyone that says they've got it all sorted and whatever, and they know what they're doing, most of the time are probably lying. The last 11 years in the corporate world have definitely opened my eyes that the only difference is the amount of time people have been at a company or time working and climbed the ladder. Nobody really has a clue what they're doing at all. And when you notice that, you get a different perspective, that people are just people at the end of the day. They have their own issues going on, and nobody really knows what they're doing. We're just people at different stages in our career or different levels in a company. No one's really that big of an expert. Nobody really has it all together. And social media isn't helping that view of things. Like I said, we're only posting the good things. So yeah, I think people need to realise, as soon as you realise that nobody really has it together, you stop putting these people that are above you in the job space on a pedestal that they don't really deserve to be on. All they do is get paid more. They've got more responsibilities. At the end of the day, they're still people. They still have their own issues going on outside of work, within work. Quite a lot of the time, it's insecurities as well that drives people up the corporate ladder. Pressures from I don't know, society, from parents. Everyone wants to do the best that they can at the end of the day, but yeah, nobody really has it sorted out. And this is what I was getting onto. Like, what do I really want to do? I have no idea. I really enjoy podcasting, but at this current moment, it makes me £0. And if you're watching on YouTube, help a guy out and subscribe, because I'm still way off that 1,000 subscriber mark, where you can actually start to make money. But every little helps, and I would very much appreciate it if you did subscribe. If you listen on Spotify or Apple or wherever, drop a subscribe, drop a like, review. It helps more than you could imagine. But yeah, getting back to it, genuinely don't know what I want to do. And I think this year has been not a struggle, but it has definitely got me thinking as I'm getting older. Obviously, I'm still not old. I'm only 29, but after 11 years at the same company, in different areas within the company and different job roles, but figuring out what I actually want to do long term, whether I change jobs completely, whether I change sectors to be something more that I'm interested in, that might help. I have no idea. I get quite a lot of job offers and interviews on things like LinkedIn and emails quite often, but nothing really jumps out at me to make me want to move. But maybe I do just need to, in a way, flip it on its head and try something new. I have no idea. But yeah, I do think I need to have a sit down, jot some ideas out, and see what's out there, what's possible in the line of work that I do. And for anyone younger listening, especially that's just sort of coming out of college, uni, don't put too much pressure on yourself. You are still young. You've still got time. Get as much experience in as many different fields as you possibly can. Don't just pigeonhole yourself in one area and say this is the job title I want to do, want to reach or whatever, because your opinions and things like that will change as you get older and you get more experience. You may find that you're interested in something that you may never even think that you were to begin with. I would just advise you to get as much varied experience, and even bad experience is not necessarily bad. It's good experience because you find that you didn't actually want to do that. You don't like doing that. Unless you try something, you will never know whether you like it or not. So you may end up going down a path where you might think, oh, I actually don't want to do this, but then find 6 months down the line you actually really enjoy it and it fulfills you a lot. So yeah, that would be one thing I would say, not to put too much pressure on. It's a question I've been asked God knows how many times in the last 11 years. I sort of like, what's your 5-year plan? Where do you see yourself? Where do you want to get to? And every single time I have the same answer, and it's I will push as high as I can until the point that it starts affecting my work-life balance, and also when the salary does not match the responsibility, which then kind of goes hand in hand with the work-life balance thing. But I've never once sat here and gone, I want to be CEO of the company or financial director, whatever job you could imagine. I actually had this conversation the other day with the head of my business, and I just said, I'm not sat here sort of saying that I want your job in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, whenever. It's purely to get to a point where I'm happy with the salary matches the responsibility and that it's not affecting my work-life balance. Because at some point along the line I would like to have kids, and as soon as that starts affecting that time outside of work, and then it becomes a problem, because I don't want to be the dad that is on work calls at 7 o'clock and missing school plays, football matches, you name it, whatever. That is something that I value quite a lot, even though I'm not at that stage in my life where I'm actually having that I've got kids or anything like that. So yeah, I thought I'd just come on here today and just air those thoughts, because I think it's something that a lot of people struggle with. Like I say, social media, I would, obviously, it has its major benefits in terms of being able to connect you with anyone, anywhere in the world, but it definitely has its negative sides. And I think I'm seeing a trend of people coming away from social media a bit more. Obviously, it's a bit difficult for myself to come away from it as much as I'd like to, just because of the nature of what I do with the podcast and things like that. I kind of have to be on social media posting things. But I do definitely need to stay away from things like doom scrolling and just staying away from the negative side of it, I think, because obviously it takes a lot of your mental time up and just time in general, just looking at a screen, scrolling all day. But that's what it's designed to do. I have seen a couple of adverts for these like blocked out phones basically. So they've got software on where I saw one yesterday. It was basically, I think it was a Samsung S16 or whatever it is, and they'd put some software on so it only has the essentials. So basically, what a phone used to be. So you can call, text, and I think it may have had the internet on for some like basic stuff. It had WhatsApp and like Uber. So like really basic stuff. So you don't end up going on your phone just to scroll. And like I remember when I first got my first phone, you couldn't really do anything on it. The internet was pretty much pointless because like things like 3 and 4G, 5G didn't exist. Uh, but there wasn't things like social media, so your phone literally was to call, text, and play some songs that you got off someone from school on Bluetooth. Um, and who had the best theme on the Sony Ericsson, the good old days. But yeah, I'm seeing a change in terms of people trying to pull away from social media a bit because it is just draining them, and it's the whole comparison thing at the end of the day. The whole comparison is the thief of joy, which we all know, and it can be hard to avoid, I guess, if you're constantly looking at things that are making you feel bad. If you're maybe seeing someone live a certain lifestyle that you want to live, but like I said, they're only posting the best things of it. You're not seeing like maybe arguments with friends, family, boyfriends, girlfriends, you name it, any sort of bad things in the day, unless they are more open and posting about it, but most people don't. So, yeah, my advice, if we want to round this episode up, is to figure out what you want to do. Get a piece of paper down, get a whiteboard, just start jotting notes, figure out what you want to do, but at the same time, be open to different opportunities if you can do it. Get as much experience as you can, because no experience is bad experience. Because, like I said, you figure out what you like and what you don't like until you have the experience, and you don't know. It's a what if. And yeah, just try and curate your social medias as best as you can to get rid of any of the noise, get rid of the comparison. At the end of the day, we decide who we follow. We decide essentially what comes up on our explore feed as well by our interests. So curate that in a way that is positive. Maybe follow people that are educational, podcasts like the Big Lad podcast, as well as other podcasts which are available. But yeah, it's up to you at the end of the day. We're only here for a short time, so it might as well be a good one. And life's too short not to do the things that make us happy, whether that's in work, whether that's with friends, experiences, you name it. We're not here for that long, so yeah. And this year feels like it's absolutely flown as well. We're in November already, which is a little bit scary. But yeah, I'll be doing a roundup of this year actually in another episode. I don't know which episode it'll be. It'll be one coming up. But yeah, I feel like I need it for myself as well, just to actually sit back and just be appreciative of the things that I've done this year, because I don't think I realise how much I've actually done, because it's constantly on to the next thing. It's this thing's done, on to the next one, which I think a lot of us are bad at doing. and maybe we need to sort of sit in the moment a little bit more and be a little bit more present and enjoy it for what it is. But yeah, before I start rambling completely, I know I already have, but I'm going to wrap this one up here. Let me know your thoughts, because like I said, I didn't plan this one at all. It was purely just, I was sat on the drive for about 10 minutes before I got out of the car, just thinking, and I thought, you know what, let's get this down on a podcast. Be open and honest, and just say, yeah, I actually don't have it all figured out, as people may think. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, drop it a like. If you're new, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.